What makes us so excited about space, even though we haven't been there? Is the excitement level the same as going to a beach? I doubt it. Space is a vast domain of things that is possibly unimaginable. We can only imagine what space looks like from books, movies, or planetariums. Hello there, welcome to a brand new episode of Movie Story. So, today we'll be discussing a highly visual, breathtaking movie that has left many mesmerized. Gravity. You may hate physics, but you can't hate this movie. Without further ado, please put on your Snoopy cap because we'll be pumped into space. Gravity is a 2013 science fiction thriller film directed by Alfonso Cuaron and stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney as the lead characters. While most of you assume that this movie revolves completely around the plight of an astronaut in fulfilling her mission and returning to Earth, it has many other nuances too. This movie's core lies in the emotional framework and personal loss, rather than scientific explanations and space life. Upon its release, Gravity received numerous awards, including 7 Academy Awards, and critics and fans praised the movie for its direction and visual effects. Now, let's dive into the movie. Dr. Ryan Stone, played by Sandra Bullock, is a medical engineer and mission specialist entrusted with the duty to mend the Hubble Space Telescope under the command of the veteran astronaut Matt Kowalski, played by George Clooney. But unfortunately, the events took an unexpected turn. The film starts by displaying a scene in outer space. An altitude of 600 kilometers is shown above planet Earth, where the temperature varies and fluctuates between plus 258 and negative 148 degrees Fahrenheit. As you know, space does not have a medium, so sound waves cannot travel through it. There is no air, and life is unsustainable in it. Later, a space shuttle is seen where 3 people are constantly working around it. It's Ryan's first mission, and Matt is giving her the commands. Ryan is quite nervous and wants to complete the mission as soon as possible and return home. However, they received a message from Mission Control in Houston that a missile from Russia has bombarded a satellite that exploded into 1,000 pieces, and the debris was causing damage to other satellites by knocking them off. Soon, a chain reaction starts where the debris destroys the communication satellites. Suddenly, the crew members were ordered to abandon the mission and get into the space shuttle. A huge debris field strikes the Space Shuttle Explorer and Hubble with high velocity. It resulted in huge damage. Ryan's suit was connected to a robot arm that became detached from the shuttle and was spinning vehemently in space, carrying Ryan along with it. Matt commands her to free herself from the robot arm, which she does, but she gets carried away to the dark region due to the upthrust. The rest of the crew died in the explosion. Ryan is shown to be orbiting around Earth. It seems she has lost radio communications with Matt. Matt somehow manages to give her a few instructions. They meet somehow, and Matt, wearing a thruster pack, attaches her rope to him. Since Ryan lacked the thruster pack, it was difficult for her to maintain her steadiness, even though she was connected to Matt's suit. Matt now tries to move towards the space shuttle along with Ryan as a trail. He tries to console her and asks about her whereabouts. It's revealed that she just had a daughter who died recently. Matt then instructs her to set a time of 1.5 hours, which is the time required for the debris to gain momentum to align with the satellite. So, before that, they had to leave the place. They were shocked to find the crew members dead upon reaching their space shuttle. Matt suggests they leave for the International Space Station, ISS, where they could find a spacecraft and return home. The oxygen level of Ryan's cylinder has decreased considerably, and she was breathing heavily. So, they hastily proceeded their way to the ISS. On the way, Matt discovered that the fuel was draining in his propulsion pack. As they approached the slightly damaged ISS, they discovered that the crew members had evacuated using one of its 2 Soyuz spacecraft. The only remaining spacecraft that was damaged had its parachute deployed in space, so they had no way to reach the Earth by using it. Since the fuel was going to be over, Matt and Ryan tried to cling to the ISS. Their tether gets broken by snapping on one of the station's solar panels. Ryan's leg gets intertwined among the parachute cords. She tries to save Matt by grabbing a strap on his suit. But since the cord cannot bear both of their weights, Matt voluntarily decouples his end of the rope so that Stone wouldn't have to drift away with him. As Matt floats away into the darkness, he communicates with Ryan through the radio about how she can find the Chinese space station and survive through the odds. She somehow manages to find the airlock and enters the ISS. Ryan turned on the oxygen level in the space station, removed her spacesuit, and tried to communicate with Matt. However, Ryan could not receive any signal. She then sends a message to Houston about her miraculous survival and the rest of the incident. Suddenly, a fire breaks off due to a short circuit in the station. She tried to put out the fire by using a fire extinguisher, but it was in vain. She immediately goes onto Soyuz and turns on the thrusters. After moving a bit, she realized that the parachute's ropes were tangled with the ISS, preventing the spacecraft from leaving. As a result, the Soyuz module became uncontrollable and began hitting the ISS. Meanwhile, Ryan is trying to prevent the disaster using thrusters. Ryan immediately gets out to separate the ropes off the ISS. However, the debris field of the previous accident returns, destroying the station. Stone then maneuvers the Soyuz towards Tiangong, but becomes upset by discovering that Soyuz's engine has no fuel. Ryan is mentally exhausted and swears, "I hate space." She tries to communicate through a wireless network and finds that it's been connected to a person. But it seems he was drunk and was talking gibberish. She could also hear the noise of a baby crying, making her remember her dead child. Utterly devastated, Ryan decreased the oxygen level of the module in an attempt to commit suicide. Ryan hallucinates and thinks that Matt is sitting beside her with a seemingly cheerful demeanor. She discovered it was just an illusion as she woke up from her trance. She restores the oxygen flow, and as per the instructions of the unreal Matt, Ryan prepares to land on Earth by using the soft landing rockets. Stone ejects herself from the Soyuz and uses the fire extinguisher to help her travel rapidly to the Chinese space station. She enters the main module and undocks it. As the propulsion took place, Ryan anticipated death and left a message for her co-workers in Houston. Just before landing on the Earth, the parachute deploys and lands in a lake with the help of a soft landing jet. By the time the members at Houston got the information about the capsule's landing, Stone opens the hatch but cannot get out due to the gushing water. Somehow, she comes out of the hatch and removes the spacesuit weighing her down. She finally swims to the shore and smiles like a child who has been given her favorite toy. She stands up victoriously and walks away. So yeah, that's the end of the story. Watching the movie in IMAX 3D gives you a full theater experience, and a means to appreciate the spectacular visual effects. The movie, as mentioned before, is not just a survival thriller or a space theme park ride. It's a metaphor for overcoming obstacles, particularly depression and personal loss. The initial 12 minutes of seamless uncut footage reveals the mastermind of the editor and cinematographer. However, the movie's sound effects and musical score have contributed to the narration to make it more intense. So, thank you guys for watching the video till the end. I hope you've grasped the exterior vision of space and the interior turmoil of personal experiences as parallel to the story's narrative. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bar for more updates. Goodbye.